Welcome back to day 3 of 100 days of VBA. Now today we're going to build on what we learned in days 1 and 2 in terms of reading and writing data from a spreadsheet, but we're going to do it for a range of cells instead of just for one cell at a time. So as you can see here, I've got my range of cells, A1 to B3 with 6 different values in, and we're going to come into our developer tab, hit Visual Basic and get going. So first thing as always, create a new module and define a function. So sub move range of data. And then we're going to declare our variable, so dim, and we're going to say data. And this time, instead of as string, it's going to be as variant because we're not just fetching one string variable, text variable, we're fetching a whole range of values. So let's do that. So data equals application dot active sheet dot range A1 to B3 dot value. Something that's different in VBA to say Google Apps Script is that even if you're fetching a range of values, it's still value singular. In Google Apps Script, you'd say fetch value, get values rather than get value for a single cell. So that's a difference between VBA and Google Apps Script. Now, let's just write that whole range back, say, in columns C and D. So application, active sheet, range, C1 to D3, dot value equals data. And let's run that. There you go. We've moved our 6 cells from here into here, all at once. Quite simple, pretty similar to what we were doing before. But because we've fetched a whole range of cells as our variant, we can actually select individual cells in that group to write in different places. So let's do that, shall we? Let's say application.active.sheet.range, and let's say A5 on its own, value equals, and let's say data. Now, to access an individual value within our data variable, so remember there's 6 possible values in there, we've got 2 columns and 3 rows of data. So if we want to get the first value, so we're going to say first row, first column. So that's going to take row 1, column 1, and write that to ELF A5. There we go. If we wanted to change the order, and in A6, instead of having row 2, column 1, say we wanted the data from B1, so row 1, column 2, we change that from 1 to 2. So we've got row 1, column 2. So watch cell A6. There we go. And so we wanted to get the last value. So that would be row 3, column 2. So row 3, column 2. There we go. Now, if we wanted to write the same value from our data range multiple times, then we could say application.activesheet.range, and let's say A10 to A15, we want to be all the same value, just one of our values here. Let's say 2, 2, row 2, column 2, and we run that. There we go. We've written the same value 5 times. So there you go. There's 3 different ways of writing data when we've fetched a whole range of cells from our sheet. You can write it all in one go by giving it the same size range and selecting all of it. You can write a single value to a single cell by giving it a single cell and then choosing one value. Or you could write the same value, so we're still only selecting one value from our data variable, but we've written it 5 times into 5 different cells all at once. So that's a bit more about reading and writing ranges of data. In the next video, we're probably going to look at how do we fetch all the values from one column of data, so say column A in this case, down to A15, because that's the last value, without having to explicitly write A15. So that's going to be next time. Looking forward to it.